welcome back to another video of mine. This time I'm back with Avatar, The Last Airbender, Season 1, Episode 3. I can't tell you how excited I am. I actually love the adaptation. I love the fact that they are starting to show the different avatars that have existed before Aang. And considering the fact that back in the day when we went to Kyoshi Island, we didn't really think of that. We were just happy to kind of see that there are still people that believe in the Avatar. But in this series, they actually show, yes, this is Kyoshi Island. This island literally was created through her. Like, this is in a certain sense Kyoshi's legacy. That's why a lot of people dress like her and they are trying to use her fighting style. So back in the day, we didn't really think of that, but I love the fact that they actually thought of bringing this into it. Considering the fact that Avatar Roku was the Avatar before Aang, we saw mostly Aang and Avatar Roku interact, but there are a lot of avatars that have existed before Roku as well. And the fact that Aang actually went to different places in the entire world, why not actually meet the previous avatar of that specific place? Like Kyoshi was an earth avatar. Like the first element she was capable to bend is earth. And then she started to learn fire, then air, and then water. Here, Aang and his crew went to Kyoshi Island, and he actually interacted with Kyoshi there. I like that because in the animated series, we went to Kyoshi Island, we learned a lot about Kyoshi, but there was no interaction between Kyoshi and Aang. When Aang went to the Fire Nation on the solstice, in order to talk to Roku, that's when we actually got the interaction between a previous avatar and Aang. But there are many different kind of avatars that existed before Avatar Roku. Where was the conversation between Aang and those avatars? So I love the fact that, considering the fact that Aang was at Kyoshi Island, it's a memory of Avatar Kyoshi. Make Aang interact with Avatar Kyoshi. And I love this. I love the fact that they, in a certain sense, also kind of brought in that warning from the previous avatars. I can feel it. I can feel that something is happening and I'm warning you. In the series, Avatar Roku warned Aang about the comet that was about to arrive. In this series here, Avatar Kyoshi, the first avatar that Aang interacted with, warned him about the danger that would await him at the North Pole. I love this, but enough me talking. I'm excited for this one. If you like this kind of content, make sure to subscribe. For the full uncut reaction, you can check out my Patreon. The link is in my description box below. And without further ado, let's start.
Fire Lord Ozai must die tonight!
They're actually showing, even though Fire Lord Ozai is our leader right now, we are still willing to fight him. Not every single person in the Fire Nation is evil, and I love that they're also bringing that up, just like in every other nation. There are good and bad people everywhere you go. You can't just say, yeah, the Fire Nation is bad and assume that every single person of the Fire Nation is bad as well. You have been expected.
You must have known this was a one-way journey. Or did you expect my men to just lay down their arms after you slaughtered their Fire Lord? Unity?
Unity?
Prosperity?
Prosperity.
Why not lead us to the brink of bringing the entire world under one rule?
That's the problem.
How many more
You're
lives?
slaughtering people.
Take another
That
century of loss and suffering.
Of loss.
Baby, have you lost someone dear to you?
You may have stopped us tonight, but there is one out there who cannot be stopped. The one who will restore balance to the world. The one who has returned to us.
Because he knows. Yes, the Avatar.
Really?
Yes. You're not that important anymore in his eyes, are ya? Y'all, to be quite honest with you, I actually have to put this out there before I can continue. I think the way that Fire Lord Ozai is being portrayed right now is actually very intriguing. Like in the series, we would all fear him and there was literally no show emotion, no sign of affection, no nothing. Like there was no calmness in this man's voice. There was only rage and hatred. Of course, he didn't really show mercy there. I mean, he did murder them all, just like his great-grandfather before him. But the way he's talking is rather smoothly, you know? Like in a certain sense, showing in some kind of respect, if you guys get what I mean. Like, I command you, like a very nice thing. And to be quite honest, I needed to pause in general just to put this out there. Where does this bitch think we are? Where does this bitch think we are? This man actually think by conquering the entire world, by enslaving every single nation and bringing everything under the rule of the Fire Nation is bringing peace. No, this is only gonna bring death and destruction in its way because people are not meant to be oppressed. And the fact that he's oppressing them by actually conquering or in general just taking someone else's home, someone else's nation and claiming it as his own is gonna cause only more rebellion because this is an oppression. You're oppressing people that actually have the right to live. It's literally like, I just want to put it out there because there are very touchy and sensitive topics in general in this world. The sexual orientation, religion. And I did talk about this in Not Me, where I talked about oppression and about the politics in general. In a certain sense, we can connect this to this show as well. People want to be free. So if you give me the feeling that I can't move freely, that I'll always be under your control, sooner or later I rebel because I don't want to be oppressed. I want to be free. I want to have the feeling that I can do my own thing. I want to be capable to decide for myself. If you take my home, my freedom, and you enslave me, in a certain sense, just like in the series back in the day, the Fire Nation had troops all over the world, in every single nation, in order to keep every single citizen of the different nations under control and to enforce the laws that Fire Lord Ozai brought out. He's like, you pay taxes for me to allow you to continue to live. How you continue to survive, that's your thing. Like, I have nothing to do with this. But I'm saying you're paying taxes to me. I don't care if you're rich or if you're poor. You're paying riches. The richer you are, the more I get. That's how things work for him. So this was actually oppression. And the thing that hurt me the most in the series was that Fire Lord Ozai said that people in the different nations can bend. If people can bend, he saw this as someone being capable to start a rebellion against him, and he couldn't have that, so he would either have them killed or he would have put them somewhere where Fire Nation troops would break their spirits so that they would only use the rest of their time to do what the Fire Nation, or in general the Fire Lord, asks them to do. There was this one episode where an earthbender was captured because he was an earthbender, and the Fire Nation didn't have that, so every single earthbender would be brought onto a ship where they could be broken. Like, just imagining that. And why did they want to break them? Because they had their own free will. And Fire Lord Ozai said, I don't want you to have a free will, because if you have a free will, sooner or later you will feel the need to get in my way, to want to have your rights. And the matter of the fact here is you don't have any rights. You only have what I give you. You only have what I allow you to have. And I don't want you to have any rights. I want you to live in order just to serve me. I will decide what I do with you. And if I don't think that you are worthy enough, or if you don't have the capabilities in order to serve me properly, you are being dumped in the trash, as in I will burn you. And this right here in the scene, before I stopped, this was a rebellion. People of the Fire Nation felt that they're oppressed, or they actually had that sense of duty. They're like, this is not okay. The way you are ruling things is not okay. This is oppression. And We don't want to live in a society like this. You need to go, considering the fact that we can see that nothing will ever change. You will never change. You will never see the light. You will never try to see things from someone else's point of view that isn't your own. So we need to deal with you. You need to be dumped in the trash. And that was a rebellion. And that was a rebellion. He couldn't have that. So he was like, you're being burned at the stake. Done. He burned them all. That was him silencing the voices of the protesters. And that's literally what politics do as well. They say, yeah, you can announce your opinion, but if you guys truly want to know what I felt about that, you should actually watch my Not Me reaction, because I'm talking about oppression and about politics on a daily loop. But just to put it small in here, in general, whether it's in Germany, in Italy, in Spain, in Africa, etc., like you all know the drill, in my eyes, democracy covers monarchy. In every single nation, not just where I live, not just where my friend lives, not just where my boyfriend lives, just to put it out there, like every single nation. That's the problem of society. Everyone says, yeah, we live in democracy. No, ladies and gentlemen. Even if people say that you live in democracy, you're not living in democracy. Democracy is literally just being used so that in order to preserve the surface. But this is just for surface purposes, in my eyes. In every single nation, democracy just covers monarchy. As in, you are actually living in monarchy, where the rich will always have it beautiful, easy, and the people at the bottom of the food chain will always suffer the consequences. They will always have to fight for the little things they get, and they will never feel like they're good enough. They will always be trampled, while the people at the top get everything without even trying hard. And that's what I mean with democracy covering for monarchy. As in, you actually live in monarchy, but the politicians try to cover that up because monarchy actually means that you are still... How can I say it nicely? Because there are still countries like that, but let's just call it you are still old-fashioned in a certain sense. Nowadays, you should live in democracy. So that's why politicians also try to make people believe that you live in democracy, but you don't. You live in monarchy. That's how society works.
I can alert my contacts.
No! I told you, no one else can know of his existence.
Understood.
Your father already knows,
if I
sir.
may.
There is an order to the way we do things here. Rules.
And what is your order?
We are Fire Nation, even out here.
Sir, but your father did kick you out. Where is your honor?
Sure you can make that look good too.
The teasing, the flirting.
So how do you know we're not a threat?
Just a feeling.
Oh, wow.
Me too, the reactions. I feel the need to say reactions too.
Hold there.
My brother-in-law would agree if he could speak.
You'd be amazed at how much he can say without words. Just the other day, he made us laugh so hard.
That was hilarious. He was actually like, this is my way to tell you to keep quiet.
All dear old Zuzu wants is to make it back here and take away everything I've worked for. Technically, he is first in line to be Fire Lord.
Y'all, I love to see this as well, though. I love to see this as well. Like, in this series, we only got a few glimpses of Azula's eternal struggles, but they were literally just at the end of the series. When she thought she was about to lose everything, that's when she literally broke down and everything, but we never actually saw her break down or actually struggle before in the series. She has always literally just been strong, unyielding, fearless. She never really cared. She only just had an insane pride. She was filled with so much rage. Here, you actually see a different aspect of her. Here, they give the aspect that Azula is jealous of Zuko. Zuko is the one that is destined to be on the throne before her. And that's literally like him being a step ahead of her. So, considering the fact that she is power crazy, she wants to be on the throne. So how does she do that? In order for her to be capable to be on the throne, she needs to get rid of Zuko. Now, she has been trying to work as hard as she can in order to show her father that she's worthy of being the next Fire Lord. But it seems like Fire Lord Ozai can never ever look at Azula the way he looks at Zuko. There is like this kind of favoritism. No matter what happens, he will always kind of prefer Zuko instead of Azula. And that makes her feel insanely frustrated and jealous. So she keeps trying even harder to prove that she is better than Zuko because she's insecure of herself. She has the feeling that being on the throne is everything she can get out of life. She doesn't really think that there's anything more out of life that she can achieve. So this is like her ambition, to do whatever it takes to get on the throne. And every single time where she kind of has the feeling that she could be better than Zuko in her father's eyes, her father keeps on reminding her that she will never have like the same space in his heart than Zuko. And that makes her feel even more rage, but not at the father, but at Zuko. She's projecting the rage that she should have at her father for not giving her the love that she needs and the attention that she asks for at Zuko, for literally not being in the picture, yet all thoughts of his father are on Zuko apparently. So that makes Azula feel even more enraged, because this is like her trying to fight for something that she will never be capable to have. And I don't think that she actually came to the conclusion that you will never be capable to win something that you never had. Sorry for saying it like this, but Azula never really had that powerful space in Ozai's heart. So she's literally fighting in vain. She will never have the space from Zuko. She has the feeling that the better she is and the more perfect she appears will make her father choose her over Zuko. And she has the feeling that Zuko being away will give her the time she needs in order to show her father that she's better. And while he's out of the picture, it's like he can only see her improvement. He can't really see what Zuko's up to and how much he's improving or not. So she has the feeling this is symbolically him being out of the picture. So she has the feeling that this is like her opportunity to show that she is better, even though this shouldn't even be a competition in the first place. If you don't have the love of your father, nothing you will do will make him love you. And I don't think that Azula came to that conclusion yet, or I don't think she's strong enough to actually accept the fact that she will never be capable to get what she wants. Because what she wants is to be capable to erase Zuko's space in Ozai's heart and her taking that place in his heart. She won't be capable to get that because there isn't that binding there apparently.
In Omashu, we won't be able to help you.
The prince and I will be fine.
That's another whiplash.
Who are you?
You can call me Jet.
Okay, Jet. Fine as man.
Where's she taking him?
Pipsqueak knows how to take out the garbage.
Damn. In a literal sense, or?
When the Fire Nation came to our village, she held them off. Well, my dad hid me in a well. I wanted to fight, but he wouldn't let me.
He feels guilty that he lost the mom. He feels like he could have done something, so that's why he wants to fight now. He couldn't back then, so right now he's kind of trying to redeem himself. He was too fragile back in the day, so he vowed to never ever be weak again.
We don't have to be afraid of our pain. We just need to decide what we're gonna do with it.
I love this so much because a lot of people literally only see pain, and I don't want to say they're afraid of it, but usually people don't really know how to deal with pain properly. A lot of people just feel that insane pain, and it's sadly also the easiest way. You take that pain and it turns you into something negative, into a worse person than you were before. You're letting that pain affect you in a negative way. And that's when you become bitter, you become salty, you become filled with anger, you become unreasonable. But what you should do is when you have that huge emotion of negativity. You should let all that power that this wave of emotion is causing inside of you, you should take that and let it fuel you. You're supposed to allow that power that comes from having to take in so much pain and turn it into something positive, into something you can be proud of. Let that negativity fuel you. Yes, life sucks. Life sadly pushed me off a deep end so many times, but I was capable to get up every single time. The negativity, the pain, the sadness, the sorrows that came from having to go through that pain allowed me to become stronger. I allowed that pain to fuel me, but not to change me in a worse person. It actually made me become a better person. Because actually having to go through so much psychological pain changes you somehow. And you being capable to actually absorb all that negativity that pain is causing inside of you and not allowing it to change you, that's power. But the bigger power is absorbing all that negativity and turning it into something positive. Like, it's already difficult to not allow that pain to change you. It's easy to allow it to change you into something negative, because that's you not actually dealing with the negativity or with the pain that has been inflicted on you. You're not allowing it to change you actually makes you acknowledge that you had to go through psychological pain. It makes you recognize that it had an effect on you, but you're not digging deeper into this. You actually allowing the pain to fuel you, and you going through the pain, which for a time being it can turn you into a bad person because it's still pain you're trying to deal with. You're still trying to dig deep into the psychological trauma that you experience from having to absorb so much negativity, so much pain, so much grief. But allowing that negativity and you actually going through the pain fuel you slowly more and more as the days go by, and as you heal. And the more you heal, the more strength you feel, the more you are fueled with that energy, with that inner power, with that inner strength. That's real power. Most difficult thing there is when you're actually capable to allow that pain to fuel you, and you absorb that pain and you accept everything that came with that, the negativity, the sorrows, the experience, and you use it to turn you into the best version of yourself. For example, I fell in love with a toxic person. Now I'm capable to see a toxic person a mile away. And if I should find myself in a toxic environment, I see the signs and I know how to get myself out of that negative environment. I will know how to deal with toxic people now. That's you absorbing the negativity, accepting what has happened, and you using that horrible experience to educate you, to fuel you with inner strength and with positivity. You know that life sucks, and you know that it could be possible that something like that happens to you again. But this time, you will not fall for it. You will not have to go through the same pain twice, because you learned from your mistake. You absorbed the negativity from that trauma and you turned it into something positive, into intelligence, into bravery, into strength. That's something you can be proud of. And I love that they're also talking about this here. Yes, Katara's mother died, and this traumatized her as well because she actually saw it. So it traumatized her onto this point. And for the people that actually watched Avatar: The Last Airbender know why she feels guilty, and it could actually explain why she's also so afraid of using her power. There was like this restriction because she knows why her mother died. Her mother died protecting her. She didn't want to tell that firebender that Katara was the last waterbender. She said that it was her that was the last waterbender in that tribe. He killed her on the spot. She saw it. So this didn't only make her hate the Fire Nation, but it also made her fear being a waterbender. She was scared of using her powers because her being born with those gifts would have been the reason for her to be killed. Her mother sacrificed herself for her, but if her mother wouldn't have sacrificed herself for her, that destiny would have awaited her. And considering the fact that Fire Nation is still that powerful, the fact that the Fire Nation still has that power over every single nation means that it could still happen. If the Fire Nation should find out that she's a waterbender, she could be grilled on the spot as well, just like her mother back in the day. Like, that's a fear that she has to carry around until the Fire Nation has been defeated. So it would make sense that she is scared to use her powers. Now she's like, it happened, can't change it, but I am what I am. I'm proud of who I am, and I will use my capabilities. She was my sunshine, and that's how I will remember her. That's what I will use from that horrible experience. I will use the memory of my mom. I will allow that to fuel me and to change me into a better person.
This is just like you, Katara, willing to believe anything as long as it helps you.
I'm so sick of you treating me like I'm a little girl.
Then grow up.
What about you? You can grow up too.
Where are you going?
Away from you.
You're a jerk.
Oh, yeah? Well, I don't need proof of that.
That was literally a kick in the face for you, sir. I don't need you for that. I know I'm a jerk. Zutara.
Listen, we need to talk.
Sorry.
Told you, we know how to take out the garbage.
He actually meant killing by that. Excuse you, we don't have time for this.
This guy? Again?
Go. Get
Me
to
too.
the palace. This is my fight.
Woohoo! Oh, give it to me. Give it to me.
2, 3!
Okay.
You're an enemy of the Fire Nation.
Why, you've been hunting me for 3 years?
You have my notebook.
My commentary!
This man always been done dirty.
The Fire Nation!
Not him sacrificing himself, sir! Now someone actually needs to tell me why Aang was arrested now. This man actually put out the fire. Why was he arrested? I don't get it. But yeah, Iroh being a king, and he's actually like, no, you go. I'm gonna take the fault here so that you have the chance to get out of here. I can't with the show. I love the fact that they are actually putting in many different aspects. I don't have the feeling that this is just to write down what he found and about his knowledge about avatars in general, but this is also kind of like his diary. Because the 3 years of him hunting the avatar has nothing to do in a book of information about the hunt of the avatar. So this is like a mixture of the information he found and his eternal struggle. So technically, the fact he got so mad about the fact that his notebook was gone was because this is his diary. It would make a lot more sense because in there are his most frustrating emotions. The fact that he is so frustrated that he wants to find the avatar. Why he wants to find the avatar so badly? Because he wants the throne, yes, but he also wants to gain back his father's love. He wants to be accepted in the family again, and he's not. And that's making him feel insanely frustrated, insanely alone. Like there must be a lot of resentment in a certain sense that he has for his father as well. But the love he has for his father covers that up. Like, I would feel insane frustration and resentment towards my father if this man would burn me, first off, and then second off, banish me to find the avatar that hasn't been seen for over 100 years. And only when I find him, the most powerful being in the universe, I am capable to come back. No, I would have so much resentment. And those things are in that diary. The fact that Aang knew that Zuko was hunting him for 3 years was because it was written in that diary. Zuko immediately knew that Aang had the notebook. Because when he was like, that's why you have been hunting me for 3 years, because I'm like an enemy to the Fire Nation. And he's like, how do you know that I've been hunting you for 3 years? You have my notebook. As in, this is his diary. That's why he was so fed up with that. And now to bring on that point from the animated series, In the animated series, Zuko has always been insanely hot-headed, impulsive. He didn't really take the time to talk to his enemies. This man only pushed people around and he was like, seen the Avatar lately? Now get over here. You're gonna help me fight the Avatar. Because that's the only thing I want right now. I want to fight the Avatar and I want to bring him home so that I will be welcomed home with honor. That's like the only thing this man wants. So actually having a conversation while they were talking was not the deal. Every time he saw Aang, it was like as if Zuko had turned into a bull and Aang was wearing red. I'm 1000% sure that you all know what I'm talking about, like in those arenas. It was used especially in Spain for like entertainment purposes. Zuko immediately turned into the bull and he went to Aang because he wanted to capture him that badly, because the faster he captures him, the faster he can drag his ass to his father. As in, the faster he has Aang, the faster he will be capable to restore his honor. So that's why he immediately went in for the kill in the animated series, and there was no time for talking. I love the fact that they are actually including the talking in here. And the other thing that I love the most about this series is they're not just saying, okay, you once go there and then you go back to Omashu and then you go to Ba Sing Se and then you come back again. Like, no, we're including many different types. Even though I would have liked that they kind of kept that in with the Northern Air Temple. It's fine if they do it here, because Omashu was supposed to be a place where people can be happy, where people can find happiness. And you don't necessarily need to be at the end of the world, somewhere in the forest, in order to be like the firefighters. You can also be in a forest in a huge ass city. If I'm that away from the city, no soul knows where I am. So I love the fact that they actually included many different episodes in one episode here. Like Jet comes in a different episode. Theo and his father come in a different episode as well. Boomy as well. They're actually including many different episodes and they're actually adding many different scenes, many interactions. They're bringing the story more to life. It's not being touched. It's actually being deeper, brought into the feelings of every single character, and I love that. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video with me. Tell me in the comments below what you think was best, and I will see you in another video. Bye!